when people hear that I do consulting and I work in the world of M&A, one of the most common questions that comes up is, do I need an M&A advisor? And I'm going to let you know, hands down, this is a super important question, especially if you're in the mid-market between 10 million and 250 million. I'm Scott Sylvan, coming to you live from Haleiwa, Oahu, on a perfect day to talk about business sales, mid-markets, and selling a business, and M&A advisors, and a fantastic day to talk about you. I'm coming to you live from Haleiwa, Oahu, one of my favorite places on earth. I want to start by telling you a story. If you look over my shoulder right there, there's a lifeguard tower, right? And you may not know this, but the lifeguards out here on the North Shore are some of the best on the freaking planet. And there's a reason for it. They grew up on the beach, they scuba dive, they snorkel, they surf out here, so they know where the reefs are. They've watched the water for hours or decades on end, and so they know where the danger zones are. And so what happens is, let's say the beach opens at 8 o'clock in the morning. Those lifeguards, they come out here at 7:30, and they prep the beach. They look at the conditions, they look at the waves, they look at how much debris has ended up on the beach. They look and say, like, there might be sharks out there. We had a warning. And so what they do is they prep the beach. And so like today, sign right here that says, don't go in the water, don't go swimming, because there was just a big storm that shook the North Shore. And so a bunch of debris ended up in the water. A bunch of garbage ended up in the water, and it's not good. And like, Scott, what does that got to do with me? Like, well, look, you've got all the tools. You got a surfboard, you got the flags, you got the tower, you got the vision, you got the bullhorn when things are going wrong. That is the job of the lifeguard. They are to give you fair warning. So if we're going to compare that to an M&A advisor, it'd be like the lifeguard. M&A advisors, their job, their role, responsibility is to take a look and say, let's take a look at this deal. And part of what they're going to do is they're going to say, don't go in the water, which is, that's not a big enough multiple. Part of what they're going to do is like, hey, they're asking for too much. Like, they're dragging their feet. You know, they're using you as some sort of gathering place for information. So if you want that A+ deal, and let me define what that is. If the market is trading for your company, your industry at 7 to 10% multiple, then what you want is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 times what your EBITDA is. That's the maximum multiple. And that happens when you have a seller's thesis. Because a good M&A advisor, what they're going to do is they're going to pull you aside and say, hey, time out. You're not ready to put your business on the market. Your financials aren't clear. You don't have a closing date. You don't have quality of earnings for the last 3 years. You have too much owner dependency, meaning all the decisions got to run through you. You have too much client dependency, meaning that if you have 10 clients, one of them makes up 50% of the business. You don't have standard operating procedures. You don't have org charts. You don't have decision bands. Like, these are all basics that you need to get that maximum multiple. And so you're like, hey, Scott, well, what's the difference? If you've got a Titans thesis where you're working 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years out, and you've got that M&A advisor acting like the lifeguard, they're telling you that you've got to have this stuff in place. An A+ level deal could get you a couple of points, a couple of turns higher than of a multiple than the rest of the market's trading at, okay? But if you're like, hey, Scott, I got the bare minimum, you get an A-level deal. If it's trading on 7 to 10 times multiple, you could get a 10. If it's a B-level deal, you could get 7. If it's a C, maybe a 6. If it's a D, standing for don't do it, you're probably going to get half of whatever the market is. And so hands down, absolutely, you want somebody on your side telling you, like, hey, these are the warnings. Like, that's like, don't go out. Be prepared. A good M&A advisor is going to do something for you that probably hasn't happened in a long time. They're going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Your management team probably tells you what you want to hear because they want to keep their job. A good M&A advisor, their role is to come in and say, here's all the things that we need. Like, I'm giving you fair warning. This is the lay of the land right now. You need these 7, 10, 15, 20 things in place, and it's going to take you a couple of quarters to get each one of these done. So we need 3 or 4 years. I see this mistake a lot, that people don't have a lifeguard or an M&A advisor on their team, and they take their business to the market. And they don't get everything that they deserve out of it because nobody's told them. You need quality of earnings, you need the financial report, you need decision bands, standard operating procedures, org charts. You need, to get rid of that owner dependency, you need to get rid of client dependency. Like, we're just going down the list, knocking off the easy stuff. There's more to it. Like, hey, Scott, is that it? No. Hey, let's find you some reoccurring revenue, whether it's monthly or yearly. Let's work on your contracts. Like, all these things, they start adding up, and they start adding into this A+ Titans thesis that I'm talking about. And that's what you want. Like, let somebody it doesn't have to be me. There are other good M&A advisors out there. If you're like, Scott, are you the only one? No. There's other good M&A advisors out there that are just like a lifeguard, just like that tower right there, and just like all the flags and the surfboards on the beach. They're going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And sometimes it can be hard because you ran your business. You've been the boss. You've been El Jefe. You've been in charge this whole time, and you're not used to somebody saying, time out, this isn't how it is. And so part of it comes down to trust. Ask the questions. Is this the right person for me and my organization? Are they going to take me to what I refer to as the promised land? Do they have the skills, the talents, and the capabilities? Right? Whether it's me, whether it's somebody else, find an M&A advisor that has a plan or a protocol to get you on to shoot for the top end of the multiples. Oh, packing up for the day. To shoot for that higher end of the multiples. But just like this lifeguard who's going to pack up for the day, the deals start over again tomorrow. Find a good, solid M&A advisor. You got one of three things to do from here. It's one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Hey, if you want to know what the North Shore looks like with nobody on a popular spot, like literally on a Friday afternoon, there should be a couple hundred people out here, but because of the water conditions, they're not. And in the wintertime, right out there, it's one of the most famous surf breaks in the world. Like, you can come out here and just sit and watch it. It's amazing. And the sunsets in the summer. In June, the sun sets about right here, and you could sit on this beach and watch one of the most epic sunsets in the world right there between this area kind of point. Like, today is going to be good. That's a nice orange yellow that's going to come up over the horizon. But just remember, a good M&A advisor is going to give you the warning flags or the green light, whether you got a good deal or not. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Aloha and mahalo.